Jakub. Welcome to the Impact Revolution channel. How are you doing?
Very good. Thank you for having me, Yoshi. I'm super excited to be here.
Our absolute pleasure, Jakub. Thank you so much for making time for this. So, how this works normally is that we ask two personal questions at the start, so the audience knows you a bit better, and then later we can go to more the business, your experience related question. Is that okay, Jakub?
Sure.
Okay.
Shoot me.
All right. So we've
Of
been
course.
talking. You live in Spain already, and then you also going to move to Dubai. All right. You are in Poland right now. So and you've been also in Brazil. So this is a question I like to ask. All right. You could wake up anywhere in the world tomorrow, Jakub. Where it will be and why?
That's a tough one actually. But I would say that I love sea.
Okay.
I love kite surfing, and I love to be active.
Okay.
I would most probably choose Brazil. I would
Brazil
most
again.
probably choose Brazil. Yes, and amazing food. Yeah, I would like to go to Brazil once again, or
All right.
some nice place in Asia that
All
actually
right.
accommodates all those elements. Yeah, those are
Okay. Cool.
two destinations I would prefer.
If you come to Fortaleza, we can go together to Kumbuko and where we
Kitesurfing.
can do kite surfing because I want to try as
Absolutely.
well. All right, cool,
Absolutely.
very cool. All right, Jacob. Now, the next question is if I ask you what was your happiest moment in your life, Jacob, what is the first memory that comes to your mind?
Oh, this is a tough one. Let me think for a second.
Uh-huh.
I think it was a salsa concert in Poland actually. So
Oh, wow.
Poland has got an incredible community of salsa dancers, and I used to be a teacher for over 10 years. So I absolutely love Latin culture and Latin music.
All right.
And there was a salsa concert of Cuban band called Havana de Primera happening in Warsaw, I think
Uh-huh.
around 4 or 5 years ago, and
Uh-huh.
it was just the pure energy and the pure joy. I think it was like one of the best moments of my life, that's for sure.
Wow, that's really
That's
cool.
the memory I have.
I I
Amazing
need
energy.
I need some salsa lessons, all right? I've been trying to learn here Brazilian Zuki. I don't know if you know this dance. I really
Yeah.
like it. And yeah, that's a very funny coincidence. All right, great. So, Jakub, now, and I wanted to
Huh?
ask you, can you hear me? Sorry, it
Yeah,
was
yeah,
some
yeah.
incoming call, sorry. Yes. So, what is your why? Why do you do what you do, Jakub?
Well, it might be something that most entrepreneurs and most founders have in common. Like you want to have an impact, which is very in line with what you what you are trying to do as well, I guess, Yoshi.
Sure.
So I'm pretty sure that that we can and we should have a, a better systems and a better future in terms of the cybersecurity matters, because what we know for sure is that the world is going to be more and more digitalized, more and more value will be in this digital space. And I believe one of the main challenges that we are facing is the problem with the
Hmm.
security and the ownership of what actually belongs to us and what is of value. And my why is to make it as easy and as secure as possible to exist in this space.
Hmm.
Always wanted to actually build something of serious meaning, and I believe that Bitfold is actually this project, this one thing that that I was about to build.
All right. Very good. Cool. Thank you, Jaco, for sharing that. And what made you get to this point? Like, how did you find that this is what you needed to focus on, Jacob?
You mean the why? Okay, so
The
I
how
think
did you reach, right? How did you reach there? Yeah.
I think at some point in my life I realized that that the world is changing very fast, and this digitalization path is not going to be linear anymore. It's going to be exponential. And at
Agree.
that moment, I realized that I want to be part of this movement. So I started to asking myself, okay, what are the big questions and what are the big challenges that we are facing? So one of those was actually the security, and the security came to my mind because I was actually scammed a couple of times.
Scam?
In a scammed, meaning someone fraudulently took the money. I invested in a
Ah,
project that didn't work out, etc. So
okay.
uh, that was
Ah,
back in 2017, more or less,
uh-huh.
when I learned about Bitcoin, and unfortunately, I lost all my funds at that moment.
Mhm. Okay.
And that made me think, okay, it shouldn't be like that. What we need is education, but apart, like at the very, the second part that we need is as a proper infrastructure, something that we can rely on, something that is truly under our control, meaning the
Uh-huh.
users. And this is when I actually talked for the first time to Camille, who's like the founder of our project, of what we're building,
Uh-huh.
and he showed me the vision of the word where you can truly trust the system, and you are empowered to do that with a tool set that is extremely secure and easy to use. So that
Uh-huh.
was kind of my background to it.
Okay. All right. Look, I'm going to be honest, all right? I'm not an expert at all in what you guys do. So if you had to explain this to a little kid of how you guys do this, all right? How would you explain it, Jakub?
Okay, so I cannot explain you how, but I'm trying to explain you why and what, okay? Because how
Okay.
is a very technical question.
That's
But
why
in
I thought,
terms of
it's hard. It has to be hard. Sure.
it's hard. It's hard. So why? Why is the first question? So I would say our mission is, because of this changing environment and the rise of cryptocurrencies and the rise of digitalization in general, and decentralization, which is a very important aspect to it, is
Hmm.
that we believe that anyone should be able to actually store what is theirs, store their digital data, store their digital assets and wealth, without the need to trust anyone else.
Hmm.
Especially since this trust is being misused by sometimes government authorities or different institutions. So that's why I believe this is super important. So this is our
Hmm.
mission, and we wanted to make sure that blockchain technology and cryptography is really, really super easy to use. You don't even have to understand it, but you have got the tools that allow you and empower you to actually take advantage of it. So this
Sure.
is why we're building this. Now,
Hmm.
what we are building is essentially a hardware wallet, which is a new category of the devices that is extremely to use and super safe. So we've been able to patent a technology called a hardware airdrop that
Okay.
allows us to put in this extremely sophisticated device a super easy interface,
Hmm.
the one that we are used to. So it's similar to what we are used to in terms of the mobile phones or other mobile devices. But at the same time, at the bottom of it is a cybersecurity technology that makes sure that your digital signature, your cryptographic keys are never ever exposed to external communication, never ever exposed to external attacks, whether it's software attacks or physical attacks.
All right.
So we're building a device that will empower user to be their own custodial, to be the true owner of what he has, what we create as a data, his identity, his assets, his medical history, etc.
All right. That's cool. That's cool. It sounds complex, right? And how do you do it? Like, if you can do it briefly.
We're coming back to this question. Okay. Okay.
I'm
So
sorry. I'm just curious, Jacob. I'm just curious.
okay.
I
So
want to understand a
I'm
bit better. Yeah.
I will try to put it as simple as possible. So we are
Thank you.
basically a startup.
Yeah.
The idea of Bitfold as this key to digital security comes back to 2018 when Camille discovered that there is a huge gap on the cryptocurrency, strictly on the cryptocurrency market at that moment. And then
Sure.
he decided to pursue this new idea that involves this technology, that this breakthrough technology that we've been able to patent. So beginning 2021, we have been able to raise a substantial funding from private investors, and we also received a R&D grant from European Union that
Okay.
allows us to actually take off the whole project to the next level and to hire people, to hire like top-notch experts in their disciplines, like
Sure.
cybersecurity, electronics, software development, and cryptography. And we are extremely lucky to have them, and they are
Sure.
doing like an absolutely amazing job building this device. So nowadays we are at the stage where we have got a miniaturized MVP, like the size of a phone, which is the more or less the final size of the device. And it's fully functional, meaning you can do the transactions with it. You can use the cryptographic keys that are on the device to, let's say, send a Bitcoin or Ethereum to your peers directly from the device.
Okay.
So so how do we do this? I don't know. I think we attract those genius people by the idea that they can build the best, the most secure device, the mobile device on the planet. This is what we attract them with, like this whole big vision that that this is really going to be necessary in the future for every user that will have to answer themselves the questions. Okay, everything is digital. My identity is digital. My passport is digital. My house is ownership rights are digital. Where am I going to store this, and how do I interact with that? And we believe that the right question, the right answer to that is not necessarily phone or a laptop, which is constantly under many forms of attacks. We believe that you need a vault of a different kind of device that actually makes sure that only you can interact with those assets.
Interesting. Yeah. It's. I was thinking about my passport, and I had to go all the way to Spain to renew it, and I was pissed off, about that.
I think it's a temporary. I think in 5-10 years time there will be no physical passports. Everything
Sure.
will go digital, and then the cyber threat will be even bigger because the base of the users and the access to those users' credentials will be online and will be available to all the hackers from around the world. So the big question is, how do you make sure that your identity is not duplicated, it's not falsified, that then you will not be accused of something different. And then there is this other trend that is raising a lot of advantages, but also a lot of threats, which is artificial intelligence. With artificial intelligence, scams and fraudulent actions and falsifying basically anything or falsifying news at scale is going to be extremely easy. So within a second, you're going to be able, or you are even able to create a lot of accounts, a lot of bots, a lot of misinformation. So the question really is, what is true? Where this truth comes from? And this is what blockchain is actually answering to. It's a decentralized technology that allows you to enter and review the source of truth around the data, around the information around you, or as in case of Bitcoin, the information about the wealth transfer of this particular coin around the different addresses around the world.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, it's more about more transparency, right? And more reliance on the information that we receive. I love it. I still don't get it though. I still don't get how you guys really do it because I think it's a very complex subject. And I don't know if it's by creating algorithms and keys that are, impossible to guess, or, passwords that are, huge. Because what I saw in artificial intelligence, in a post on LinkedIn, is that they can guess now with artificial intelligence in seconds our password, if they don't have any
Yeah,
particular hard key or, letters or a special character or something in few seconds, and the more characters you have and the more special characters,
and
the harder is to guess it. So I don't know if it's something around those lines. So you can share it. I don't know if it's
I can share it. I can
yeah.
share it because it's in a public patent database.
Okay.
So the magic behind Bitfold is that we've been able to put in this one mobile device 3 devices actually.
Okay.
So first device is similar to your computer. So it's connected to the internet. Its main function is to allow you to send the transaction to the internet, to database. So let's
Okay.
say I want to send you 1 Bitcoin, and I can do this through this module. We call it module
Hmm.
1. And
Okay.
then we have got the module 2, which is a traffic controller. This is a hardware air gap. What does it mean? It's that the purpose of the second module is to transfer data either to the first module or the last module. And then you've got
Okay.
the third module. This is where your private keys are. This is where your
Mm,
whole essence and the most important part, your digital signature actually sits. So
mhm.
someone without this digital signature cannot actually make any transactions on your behalf.
Ah.
So because of the setup of 3 elements and 3 modules, we are able to make this device extremely user-friendly because it's one standalone device. So it's connected to the internet because part of it is connected to the internet, the first one. But the third part is never ever exposed to external communication. It's never connected to the internet because of this middle guy. Because it either connects to the first one or the last one, but not to both at the same time. So it's on a
Mm.
hardware level where the magic happens. Of course, we've been able to also build on top of this hardware level a software that we are running. So it's our own operating system, our own distribution of Linux kernel.
Okay.
So we're kind of both hardware and software company, but the magic behind this invention or this breakthrough around Bitfold is the hardware technology that makes sure that your keys are actually
Okay.
basically impossible to extract.
All right, all right. Now I understood it better. Thank you so much for the explanation. I love it. All right. Okay, so and what is now the challenges for you guys, Jakub? What is the biggest challenge that you are facing?
I would say that we've been so far through many challenges. I don't know if this is going to be the biggest one, but now as the project matures and
Sure.
we're moving to the next stage, we are finalizing the design of the device and we're moving to the stage where it will be tested and checked by experts. I think our main goal would be to now onboard a big investor that would help us out to roll the product into the market. So
Okay,
because of the
cool.
complexity of the device itself, uh, it's very capital intensive to actually provide the first 10,000 pieces batch to the market. So I would say this is my main focus to make sure that we have got the proper partners that provide not only capital but also some expertise on how to enter the various markets that we are looking into with this product.
All right, very good. I love it. That's interesting, Jakub. And how are you thinking to do that in the best, most effective way? Because I think partners are important, right? Very important.
Absolutely. So now, as we have got the working prototype or an MVP, late MVP, this is something to show to the partners. I mean, we are a reliable cybersecurity and hardware company because we have got something that is actually working. So I believe it's going to be way easier now than a couple of months
Before.
or a couple of months before. And
Sure.
what I'm going to do is to take this device and travel to Dubai and most probably to some Asian countries
Uh-huh.
and present it and look for various investors during different events that are scheduled for the winter, and also to reach out to many contacts that we have over there to see if it's something of interest
Uh-huh.
for those both cybersecurity companies and blockchain and cybersecurity venture capital firms.
All right, interesting. And as you know, I'm an emotional coach, a performance coach. So I was wondering, what you are looking really into your partners, right? Because these are going to be long-term relationships that can last, many years. So I was wondering, about the values of Bitfold and, maybe something about the culture that you can maybe share with us, Jakub.
Yeah, absolutely. So, in terms of the cultural alignment, I think what is pretty specific about us is that we always say that nothing is impossible. Maybe
All right, cool.
this is one of the things that most of the founders have in their mind. But this is truly a living motto in the company. Like it's
Okay.
not impossible until it's possible.
Uh-huh.
I think
That's cool.
we are going to look for the partners with the right mindset. So if someone sees only the obstacles and problems and challenges, then most probably it will be very hard for us to align with such a partner.
All right.
Um, the other
Definitely.
thing the other thing I would say is the integrity and honesty. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
let's be honest. So being a startupper and building a company, it's never easy, and
Sure.
it is always about facing a lot of challenges, whether these are technological challenges or people challenges or growing challenges, whatever.
Sure.
So you have to be very resilient, but at the same time, you have to be responsible to communicate it to your partners, and you have to be understanding about it. I believe that this integrity on both sides,
It's
sharing
very important. Yeah.
the pain points that you're facing. So let's say to put it in practice, so the pain points of the investors would be, okay, guys, why are you like so slow in terms of growing or getting to the market or growing the business or whatever KPIs you might have, is important for us to hear, because then we can actually acknowledge that and to answer those concerns.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
we would rather have a partner that is speaking freely rather than
Hiding
being
stuff. Yeah.
hiding stuff and just being mad and then just
Yeah. And not
acting.
explaining. Sure.
Yeah, exactly. So I would say that this is the second pretty important part
Sure.
on our side. And I would say what we are very focused on is a big vision.
Uh-huh.
So
Sure.
the, the thing is that we don't want to just end up with one product, or we don't want to sell this company to one of the big techs at this stage, at this moment. We really want to deliver what we believe in and promised, and we believe that this is huge. Like this can have a huge impact, and it's not a small
Sure.
project, therefore.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Definitely.
So we are not so in those terms, I would say we are not looking for venture capitals or for partners that are going to be here for weeks. Like we are looking for a rather long-term vision aligned with what we're trying to build.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, that's what I was asking, about this vision and values and culture, because I think it's very important, and that gets to us for understand us a bit better about you guys, and about the
Sure.
potential investors and partners you want to create. Very good. Yeah, all right. I don't know. I was wondering, we have 5 minutes left. Jakub, it's been amazing. So thank you so much for so far. And was wondering if there is anything you would like to share before we going to close out that we
I
haven't
mean,
covered. Yeah.
I'm a huge fan, and I'm a huge supporter of Bitcoin as an idea, as an asset. So I
Uh-huh.
believe, if amongst our audience are people who have never heard of it or have been, fearful to touch it or to actually educate about it, I truly encourage you to give it a look, because I believe this is one of the biggest inventions within the a couple of centuries. I mean, this is really an asset and technological improvement in terms of the money, because money is
Uh-huh.
technology basically, that can bring a balance to our world. Why? Because the money that we are using and facing every single day
Mm-hmm.
is basically out of our control. It's controlled by countries and by central banks that usually have very different incentives than their citizens. And Bitcoin is something different. Bitcoin has got its rules laid out quite clearly from the very beginning. It's all written in the code. It's fixed, and it truly is a revolutionary asset to look at, because it doesn't belong to anyone. So there is
Mm-hmm.
no higher power central bank that can decide, okay, we're going to make more of it, or we're going to make less of it, or we're going to inflate it like hell. Nothing like that can happen. So it's completely decentralized. It's truly decentralized, and this is very important in terms of any systems. But on top of that, it's something that you can truly own.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning, if you've got money in your bank account, you actually don't have the money. You have got a right to ask the bank to pay you out your money, but it's never ever your money once you put it on your bank account.
Sure.
Uh, you just have got the right to ask them to give you
Uh-huh.
your
Uh-huh.
money. But with Bitcoin, with those kind of digital assets, whenever you are the sole owner of your cryptographic private keys stored, for example, on Bitfold, uh, you are the sole proprietor of this asset. Like, no one can ever touch it, no one can ever get it from you. So this is something you can really truly own. And in the world where there is a lot of uncertainty, there is a lot of misuse of power, I think it's very important to have such an asset and such an alternative. So for whoever you guys, um, um, for anyone over there listening, if you guys have any doubts about it, that's normal, that's natural. I suggest, in order to build awareness about Bitfold, it's best to learn about two things. It's about best to learn about economics and the history of money,
Mm-hmm.
and internet technologies.
And what? Sorry.
Because there is a
Internet.
great meme that says, okay, Bitcoin is everything you don't understand about money and internet technologies, and this says it all. So there is a great book from Saifedean Amu. It's called the Bitcoin Standard, and I cannot recommend it highly enough. And this actually tells you how the history of money was being created, and
I love it. Okay.
what is
What what
important
what
in
is the
terms
name
of
again?
money.
Sorry, Jakub.
It's called Bitcoin Standard.
Bitcoin standard. Okay.
Yes, from Saifedean Amu. He's an economics professor,
Okay.
Austrian economic professor, and he's an incredible person. I met him in Prague, and
Cool.
his book is like a it's eye opener for anyone,
Uh,
trying to figure out how this financial world actually works.
I love it. I'm going to read it. You just motivate me so much about what you just shared in the last 5 minutes. So thank you so much. Jakub, we are on
Thank
the
you.
end of the interview. Thank you so much for your time. I was wondering, last question, okay? I really would like to
Bring it
ask you.
on.
Okay, so if this is a bit dramatic, but if you were to die tomorrow, okay, and you could have the chance to share a big message to the whole world, what it would be?
No, stay safe. In terms of your identity, in terms of your assets, I would say be vigilant, be careful, because this is your most precious thing, what most precious asset, your identity, what you represent by yourself, and yeah, I think that this is really important to have in mind.
All right, I love it. Thank you so much, Jakub. Thanks a lot. It was a pleasure. And yeah, talk to you soon.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you for
Take care.
having me. Goodbye.
Bye bye. Bye.